You know, if you tell most people, like, hey, why do you have all that money sitting in your bank account? It's going to just wither away because of inflation. They're like, huh? Right? But if you go, bad guy, ooh, we got to fuck them motherfuckers up.
Welcome back to Careful Boys. So, the United States has started a war with Iran.
Wow. Wow. It's happened.
Yeah.
And Iran so far.
Oh, wait. Hey.
Dude, there's so many things going on right now, but I wonder if we're going to get troops on the ground.
That's what I'm scared of the most.
What do you mean, like their troops on this ground?
Boots on the ground, our troops. So,
because it's just missiles back and forth right now, right?
Well, no, the latest is that the Kurds have now gone in, right? Like there are now Kurds forces on the ground. But like,
what's a Kurd?
See, people think about cheese when they hear Kurds.
Yeah, so there's
the Kurdish people.
So in Iraq, there's the Shiites, there's the Sunnis, and there's the Kurds. The Kurds are the most USA friendly because I don't know why anymore because we screwed them over so many times. But the Kurds are considered friendly to the United States government, and they are more like aligned with our interests, I suppose, because we have given them so much money over the years. So they're seen as CIA assets or government assets.
So they've stepped foot in Iran on our behalf?
They are not in Iran yet. They're in
Syria?
Other one.
Kuwait?
No. Other one.
Those are the ones that touch.
I'm 40 now.
Madagascar?
My brain hamsters. No, it's
Syria?
No, hang on, I'll find
Universal Studios?
Wait, are you talking about the BCC countries? Like the UAE?
Yes.
Oh, because they're hitting them.
Bahrain?
Exactly.
Bahrain, Qatar.
Iran?
I think they're called the BCC or something like that. Yeah. But they're a coalition of Saudi Arabia, UAE, Bahrain, Qatar.
Oh, Live Golf.
Yeah, the Live Golf community.
Basically, they're not in yet, but they're being lined up to go in right now. That's the latest.
Because when we did the strike, the U.S. did the strike. Boom, boom, took out Khomeini, all this stuff. That's when they did the strikes on U.S. bases in the neighboring countries, Qatar, and in that Austin shooter, they're claiming that was a sleeper cell from Iran, but I don't know. It might be a solo agent.
You want to hear some crazy shit? Yeah. So I follow like this, I think spy page or some shit, and
I think spy page or some shit.
I don't know how they market it.
It's a good start,
but there was a team of Iran defectors. So they abandoned, like, I don't want to be on Iran's team, right? And then Iran, of course, is like, well, if you're going to fucking leave us, we're going to fucking kill your ass. And they tracked these guys to Canada to erase their association with their assassination. They hired Hell's Angels British of Columbia chapter to kill those motherfuckers. Wow. I forgot what the dollar amount per head count was. Dang. But I'm like, that's crazy that they even know who Hell's Angels are. And the fact that they like this global network of the underworld is fucking insane.
One of the craziest things about this war for me has been seeing how sophisticated Iran actually is, because what they did at first, from my understanding of how things have laid out so far, and there's a lot of BS out there. So maybe I just ate up all the BS too. But so the United States attacks Iran. Iran starts to fire a bunch of drones at, our defense, like the Iron Dome and all that stuff. And so they're very cheaply firing these drones that cost them nothing compared to what we spent on missiles. And then they wait until we're depleted for what we can use for defense. And then they fire hypersonic missiles.
Oh, the real shit.
Real shit. And that's been fucking things up big time.
On our U.S. bases over there.
Yes, because they're depleting our munitions and ability to defend ourselves and then using the real shit later.
That is pretty good strategy.
Did you see that thing where like I don't know if it's real because again, I'm eating bullshit too probably, but there was like a video of how they had painted.
Oh yeah, aircrafts on the ground and we were bombing like drawings.
Bombing, and then I guess they tallied it and they basically spent 5 million munitions on paintings on the ground.
Well, the thing about Iran is that they've been ready for decades. Like they knew that it was going to happen at any moment. So they're ready for us to invade.
They also made sure, because we took out Khomeini, right? they made sure to tell their leadership in their military, like that's spread out all over Iran, which is massive, by the way. Iran's huge. You're in charge of your own sector, which basically they call that like a mosaic defense strategy, where like you're not getting orders from the top. You're getting orders from like the cat next to you.
How much resources do they get from the top? If any?
I don't know, but they're also doing this thing too, where they're burying their missile sites. So these are dormant missile sites that aren't detected, and then they'll just launch. So how do you defend from that? Because like you could see a missile battery, for example, but you can't see just like underground shit.
But their real power is the geography. Like, shout outs to Professor Jang. He explained in thorough, like, why the U.S. is going to fail in terms of, like, they're going to lose this war.
Wow.
And the way that he described it by using past examples of military operations. And he was like, we're like the Roman Empire, where we're a bit too, or no, the Athenians, where we're a bit too cocky right now because we just had a win with Venezuela and all this stuff. And he goes, but like, if you want a regime change in Iran, we have to have boots on the ground to come in, take over it, and then establish a new government. But he goes, that's going to be hella difficult because of the way Iran is shaped, is like it's hella hills like Afghanistan. So they'll go up into their defense. And the reason why we couldn't take on Afghanistan was that reason, the same reason, right? And in the US, logistically, you know, like even you're in supply. So it's like, if you can't get supplies, you're done.
Yeah.
So there's no supply routes. You could drop off your troops in the isolated mountains. If you have no logistics, they can't get food. They can't get anything. So it'll just be like an exhausting kind of
Attrition warfare.
Right. We're just at the fucking sea, just waiting it out. And they're like, we're locals. We could wait this shit out. But he was talking about how like there's so many differences. Like in the US, our morale right now is like, the rhetoric is kind of no war, right? You got the right and the left still going like, why are we doing this?
Yeah, no military industrial complex.
20 years ago, though, when we were about fuck terrorism, easily everybody would have been like, we're going to go get these fucking, you know, we're going to go get these guys. But now it's so different. And then the type of people who's joining the military now, they're in it for the checks. They're not there to kill. It's a different kind of morale, right? Yeah. But home turf guys, what he was talking about is like, we're getting the Western propaganda of, hey, these guys don't like their government. They're going through a lot of protests and whatever. And then we also hear from American Persians or Iranians, right? Like they're like happy about it. So we have this image of we're going to spread democracy. We're going to liberate them.
Yeah.
But home turf guys, they go, look at what they did to Iraq. Iraq is destroyed. They never brought democracy there. They never made it better. They're like, it's a fight till the death. Because they're going to come here, they're going to destroy Iran, they're going to take the oil, and they're not going to give us democracy.
Yeah.
Well, what they did was a propaganda campaign in Iraq. Purple fingers, they're voting, they're choosing for themselves, and that was just like a propaganda campaign. It wasn't reality.
And then look at what happened. They let ISIS come in and destroy Iraq, right? It took Russia to come in and destroy ISIS to clean it up, but we didn't a lot of people would argue we made ISIS too.
But also, I heard we pulled out of Iraq, but then a bunch of, our bases just got bombed in Iraq, and that's where a bunch of our service people just got killed. So that's the joke of it too, is like they claim we got pulled out. I think most American people, if you walked up to them on the street with a microphone and you went, are U.S. forces in Iraq? They would say no, because Biden famously pulled them out. So we thought. But obviously we keep bases there so that we can continue pressure on Iran.
Yeah, we never completely left like Afghanistan.
No.
Yeah, but that's the part where I think people don't know what's next for the U.S. and how are they gonna react.
Well, let's talk too about, so recently Marco Rubio came out and he did a little oopsie. He had a little oopsie daisies where he said why they started this war. He said, we knew that Israel was going to go in, and if we didn't join them, we were going to get counterattacked. Basically saying like,
by who? By Israel?
By Iran. Because Iran would start to bomb our bases in retaliation.
Against Israel.
Against Israel.
Exactly. So they knew Israel was going in.
Right now, how they bombed a bunch of other bases, but they're really targeting U.S. bases in other countries. Exactly. They wanted to target Israel in America.
Yes, but Jon Stewart said that it's just a big bar fight, and Iran just started swinging at everybody like Bahrain. But like they're not swinging at Bahrain like that. They're firing at U.S. bases that are based in Bahrain.
I think America, even without Israel, has good motive that they're not telling people, which is the China motive. So like the Venezuelan oil shit, right? Like we can't even have access to that, but they did it because they were blocking China from accessing that oil. They were about to do a deal. So they're like, boom, let's restrict them. Part two is Iran they make hella money trading oil to China. So then if you restrict that, then you restrict China's ability to get any oil.
And you protect Taiwan that way, right?
Yeah.
Is it really about the global currency?
I think it's multifaceted, but like I think oil's a big one, and there's a mineral and AI kind of tech race right now.
Because wasn't that oil deal supposed to be under the Chinese currency?
Which one?
They did a few.
The Venezuela oil one.
They did a few, yeah.
They were gonna like buy and sell under the yuan or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, the one that they were meeting about?
The one they blocked was going to be done under.
The Chinese delegates were there while the attack happened.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I think like a lot of things can be true at the same time.
Okay, can we get layman's terms real quick? Let's say we successfully do whatever the fuck the real reason for us going to war with Iran is. What's the positive outcome for us?
I don't really think. Okay, if I'm gonna put on that hat, I would say you can disable Iran's ability to launch terror attacks in that region.
Sure.
That's one of them.
Right.
The other one would be like it strengthens the dollar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Well, I
has
mean, like
to.
if you
By way of what? Oil?
Oil, not having yuan be the global, like the whole.
So the
BRICS concept.
de-dollarization thing has slowed down.
And you weaken China because China got oil from the Iran and Venezuela.
Just forcing more countries to trade under USD.
We're like dismantling the whole BRICS concept.
Sure.
And then the other one I think is fighting inflation because we keep printing money. We need to send money to other places to have like for wars
Absolutely.
as like a inflation.
That was a crazy freaking concept.
yeah.
Well, dude, every time we've had a war, you can grow the economy that way.
We've been doing that for a while.
You gotta like burn money.
Yeah,
It's
you gotta burn
crazy.
money.
Yeah.
That's why the meme is like, here's what's backing the dollar, and it's always pictures of our like aircraft carriers.
Yeah. Because the scarcity has to come back.
Yeah, the less competition we have economically with anyone, the better it is for the citizens of that country that benefits.
And again, this is probably so naive, but that version of truth doesn't merit better with the general public of America versus the narrative of like, we need to spread democracy because this authoritarian.
Well, I think the general public doesn't even know what the hell half those things are.
The general public is seeing the women dancing, doing the Trump dance right now, and they're at least the people who think it's tight. They're all spreading that. I was like on my timeline. I was like, I cannot believe people are doing this again, but they are. Like
Well,
it reminds me of Iraq.
The facade of spreading freedom, right? That propaganda happened during the Cold War. So after World War II, when we started fighting communism, the whole common like goal was we need to liberate these communist countries.
And I understood how that worked as the narrative back then because it was like really easy to believe that. Now I feel like it's so clear that that's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more clear now that like these are moves for the oligarchy, and hopefully there's a trickle down that helps us in some way.
And for Israel primarily.
But when we say us in general, we're talking about the GDP that has nothing to do with the average
It
person.
still feels like the public narrative is about like some version of global justice against this like evil dictatorship, blah, blah, blah.
I think that's a cope.
That's how they paint it, yeah.
But it's like, it also,
That's the justification of a war.
Yeah.
the like blatant truth is easier to ride behind.
Well, I think it's because regular people are primal, though. You know, if you tell most people, like, hey, why do you have all that money sitting in your bank account? It's going to just wither away because of inflation. They're like, huh? Right? But if you go, bad guy, ooh, we got to fuck them motherfuckers up. So I think it's easier to paint, like.
And then plus, if you think about it, right? If you had to tell someone, hey, the reason why we have Uber Eats, this convenient lifestyle, we could drive wherever we want. We kill a lot of innocent people to get oil. Are you down? A lot of people are going to be like, I ain't down, right? But if you tell them, we're going to bring religion, freedom, women's rights, and we just need to go to war and take it away from these bad dictators, everyone's going to be like, let's do it. It's a noble cause.
It's better messaging, and which is why and leaked CIA documents that were declassified, the CIA thought it was a better idea to have Obama in power than another Bushite because we can sell the war easier. And they were able to expand the war then from 2 wars to 7 wars, right? We went to Libya. We attacked the people, the fucking people, Lebanon. We attacked what the hell is it?
Libya,
Yeah, Libya. I said Libya.
Syria,
Thank you. That's the one.
Iraq.
Yep.
Well, that was Bush, but a lot of people call Obama Bush 2.0, and it's not because he's a Republican, but he just continued what the Bush had intended in wars and expansion and whatever.
With way more drones.
Mm-hmm. And we're right on track. There's a CIA whistleblower who said that he basically gave a blueprint of how it was going to go from Iraq to Syria to Libya to Iran and all that. And we're right on track.